sitting comfortably, then we'll begin.
Hey, hello and welcome everybody. It's Ukraine Update here on the Shills. We got Operator Starsky, we got Dave Worley, Nick Suter, we got Claire Bear, of course, and myself. We're going to run down some headlines and talk about some stuff. For once, the orcs hit the right target. Their own fucking city. You can't make this shit up, fellow babies. But before we get too excited with ourselves, I got to hit the stinger. Hand it over to Operator Starsky to bring us some headlines. Nope, I muted it. There you
go. Hi everyone, Operator Starsky here. So we have several smaller updates from Ukraine because not much happened this week aside of several strikes that were performed by Russian terrorists on Ukraine. Yesterday there were missile strikes on Kharkiv. Actually, during the live stream, Nastya from Kharkiv had to find shelter because of the strike, and we know that Russians used S-300 missiles to strike residential areas in Kharkiv. Luckily, we already have Patriot systems that arrived to Ukraine, and we know that they are already deployed. And one of the features of those anti-air systems is that they are able to intercept S-300 missiles used by Russian invaders, which is very important because Russians have a lot of those missiles. And even though S-300 was initially designed as anti-air missile during the Soviet times, but still it can be reprogrammed to strike surface objects or like buildings and structures, and they often use those in the areas close to the border, in Kharkiv, in Sumy oblasts, and such. That's why it will be very, very useful to have Patriot systems being able to intercept those. And another thing, so we had 45 Russian attacks in the past 24 hours. We know that they were all deflected, and we know that Ukrainian armed forces performed 11 strikes on Russian invaders, on orcish personnel. We know that several Russian UAVs were intercepted. But today I would like to discuss two separate topics. One of them is the reports that we receive constantly. So first of all, in 2023, we noticed the increasing number of attempts by Russians to convince Ukraine to negotiate, with them. And we saw a lot of attempts from Russians. We also saw a lot of attempts from opinion makers. Basically, Russia recruited opinion makers on the West and other political leaders that support Russian terrorism. So we can see increased number of attempts to negotiate with Ukraine. Why it's important is because Russia lost its ability to perform multiple offensive operations. They cannot attack on the same scale as in 2022, and we also know that Russian generals are trying to convince Putin to finally start preparing for the defensive operations against the upcoming Ukrainian counteroffensive. So why it's important for Russians is because as I already said, they lost this ability to perform several offensive operations at a time. Currently, all of like majority of the Russian troops are concentrated around a small town of Bakhmut for almost 9 months without some significant result. At the same time, why it's important for Russians is because they want to have this strategic pause in order to concentrate more weapons, more personnel, probably launch another mobilization. We know that Russians require at least 400,000 men additionally to bring to Ukraine, reinforce their units here. So maybe that is something that we will see soon. On the other hand, we know that another wave of mobilization may be lethal for Putin's regime. I like personally, I don't really trust in this, but there are different sources that confirm that Russian elites, and we're talking about their businessmen, and currently some of Russian politicians were also noticed trying to negotiate with Ukraine, trying to find contacts with Ukraine, and this information comes directly, by the way, from the military intelligence of Ukraine. So they're trying to negotiate their, let's say, negotiate their future. As soon as the stream started, everybody starts calling. It's like it's a freaking curse. So they're trying to find a way to escape responsibility and probably make sure that they will have some kind of future, So that is one topic. I think that we will see even more attempts from the Russian side to have negotiations with Ukraine. And speaking about those attempts, I just cannot avoid mentioning Chinese representatives. I cannot mention a Brazilian president. I cannot avoid mentioning him because those guys are hilarious. So Chinese Chinese representative, I believe it was Chinese ambassador, he said that post-Soviet countries, the countries that were occupied by Bolsheviks, by Russian communists, they don't have like legal independence. And he also said that basically Crimea was always Russian. So on one hand, we can see Chinese authorities speaking that they want to reach, consensus. They want to talk both countries, Ukraine and Russia, into peaceful negotiations. They want peaceful resolution of this war and blah, blah. At the same time, they state that Ukraine doesn't exist as an independent country and it has no right to exist as an independent country. That is one of the reasons why I call everybody just to ignore what China says, because current Chinese communist regime is basically a bunch of, let's call them not terrorists. You can call them terrorists, actually. They're bad guys. They don't support democracy. They don't support freedoms. They are bad guys who are allied with Russia and that block of evil. Russia and Iran and North Korea. Another thing, because this Chinese representative was so ridiculous in his statement, already all the Baltic countries, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, they demand explanations from Chinese, like, what did you mean for real? Because it's an important topic, you know. So I would like to see the resolution of this story as well. And Captain Starsky finished report.
Alrighty. Cool. There was a thing I wanted to bring up quick. It was the whole Russian warplane dropped the bomb on their own city, injuring people. It's about fucking time they did something right, isn't it, Starsky? I mean, well done on you, orcs. You finally hit the right target, you bastards.
Well, basically, this pilot did everything right. I mean, he was told to bomb Nazis, and basically that's what he did.
I love it. Does anybody have anything they want to? Yeah, I was going to say, like Nick, Dave, anybody want to get into anything before we start with a few questions and some goofing around and shit?
Well, so that left a huge crater right next to an apartment complex. So, I mean, my hope is that it gets people at least thinking. You know, they're like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be for this war. I also wanted to point out, I'm glad to see that you're okay, Starsky, after yesterday's vicious attack. Many people don't know that Starsky was attacked, received quite a licking from a there we go. Let's see. From there he is. You know, it looks like. I mean, what you hung in there. You hung in there. You were brave. It looks like. Now that is one of the cutest dogs I've ever seen. Don't tell me when I said that, but.
I had to fight for my life.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Those whiskers, they're ticklish, and I'm very happy I survived.
Well, that was the that's cute. That's on Starsky's Twitter. So go log into Twitter and download that. I've got that. So that's marvelous. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh.
I'm almost done here. I'm trying to do too much copy and pasting in one time here. I'm all kerfuffled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other thing I wanted to thank, since we got a minute anyway, I wanted to thank you, Starsky, and thank all the shills. You know, In Time did a stream yesterday that overlapped with your normal time, so you guys moved back so we could do that. We earned $1,400 for the UN Ukraine Refugee Relief Fund that's going to be going to refugees in there's 8 million refugees in Ukraine that haven't left Ukraine but had to leave their homes and are refugees in their own country, and another 8 million that are in other countries, the largest of which is in Poland. It's going to go directly to them, so we're going to get that done. And then the only thing that I'm asking for a little help from people is that we ended up, we did have Starsky's going to write a letter to the person who donated the highest super chat. So am I, and they're going to get this Godless Mom knitted this Ukrainian flag crocheted. I always get that wrong for the winner. And the winner is someone who I haven't seen before. So we have their YouTube channel. We're trying to track them down. We know who was second if we can't track them down, but ideally we'll get them. So let me just get the name again real quick. And I dropped it in the live chat earlier. It's it was, let me one sec here. I don't even know how to pronounce it. They was in Swiss francs. It was 200 Swiss francs. It's I'm going to guess Japetbu, Japetbu. I'll drop it in the live chat. But if anyone happens to know who that is, I think they follow Anna from Ukraine, so I'll be asking there. But anyways, I wanted to thank everybody, the shills. You guys have been great. I appreciate you guys always having me on and your support, and it's been awesome. Starsky, you as well. So that's it. I want to say thank you all, and since you had a minute anyway, so thank you.
Awesome. Glad we could help at all. You know, absolutely. Holy, we've got some shout outs to do here. Who's in a shout out mood? Claire, do you want to do some shout outs?
Sure. Let me just get right there. Okay.
Yeah. Everything
Oh,
just
this
got
is
out of
fine
hand
for
on me in the
real.
background there. My screens were in the wrong place. I was reaching to the wrong places to copy stuff and had to
Nope.
reorganize and reshuffle. But we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Here, Claire
Okay.
Scott showed it.
No problem. From Secular Sakai, we've got 2052. For Starsky and his guys. Just come over from Rick the Ukraine stream, Slava Ukraini. From generic username. A member message. Best part of the weekend is tuning in. What a nice thing to say. Thank you.
Love it.
Oh, Yvonne Way, a new member for 5. Shiba dog laughing. Oh, it's a sticker. The Shiba dog laughing slightly while blushing and covering his mouth with one arm. A little shy there. Thank you very much for your support. From Suzanne Kniffin, also a new member, gifted a Shills membership. Thank you very much. To Irene S. To Forgotten Promise, Forgotten Promise.
Oh, did I copy the? Yeah, I did. I goof. It's Oh, for God's sakes! I knew I screwed up somewhere.
Cinnamon has sent in. Is that the one that it's linked to for 20? I'm not sure, but
no, that's a different one. But there was maybe tomorrow also got a gifted membership from Susan Niffen.
Okay, so that might be what that was. So thank you very much. That's wonderful that you gifted the membership, Susan. And then from B.R. Bowden, Ukraine should have 2 official languages, Ukrainian and East Ukrainian. Leave the so-called Russian language to the orcs. Well, thank you very much for that. And I did mention Cinnamon. Thank you very much for your donation. There's no message on that one, but if you have anything you'd like us to post, just add us in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. How about we check in over with Dave for a few viewer questions here and start getting everybody involved some?
Sure thing. So there's a couple of comments to start with. It wasn't me, says Operator Starsky. It all went wrong when I was asked to hire me and sink some ships. There's a comment from them. There's one from Ugly German Truths. Starsky, supposedly a war hipster with that hairstyle? Never.
I'm a true war hipster with this hairstyle because it doesn't so it fits well with the helmet, okay, and the gas mask, of course, and I'm not wearing beard because in case of some unfortunate gas attack, I want to stay alive, unlike my stylish bearded comrades. That's why I'm a true war hipster.
I thought you were already wearing a helmet.
Yeah, the desert camouflage.
I'm happy to continue. God wrote 01. Operator Starsky, don't you think it would be better to not go on the offense but stay defensive with all that new weapons to start a real war of attrition for the Russians? This could save lives. What do you think?
Actually, those weapons already started the war of attrition because we know that Russians are trying their best every single day. So they have this myth that Russia didn't even start fighting for real. In reality, they are fighting on on the limit of their possibilities. And I don't think that we will see anything like more intensive from Russians in the nearest future. But why we need to perform this counteroffensive is because we need to finish this war as soon as possible. Every day, not only Russians die, but unfortunately Ukrainians die as well. Not only our soldiers, which is always a big tragedy for us because it takes a lot of time and resources to train a professional soldier. but also because our civilians are suffering big time. So we need to stop this war as soon as possible with our victory.
Agreed.
Interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah. Could I just throw a quick question out there while it's in my head? You say it's a, relatively speaking, quieter week in terms of news. How do you guard against complacency during a war?
Complacency?
Complacency meaning you get very comfortable with nothing happening. If to give a football analogy, you are 4-0 up against Ukraine in the Euros, for example. Just a random, off the top of my head, making it up. And you start to think, oh, this is really easy, and then you go easy on the opposition, and they come back into it, kind of thing.
Just a second. So complacency is like when you underestimate your enemy, right?
Or you've gotten used to the status quo, and so you're not as ready as you could or should be, because the current status quo is nothing's happening.
I see. We had a lot of that stuff on the front lines as well before the full-scale invasion. When you arrive to the front lines, when you are being deployed, and for example, in 8 years on the front lines, I remember it was very different at times. Sometimes we had some intensive shellings. Sometimes it's just an example from life. Sometimes we had some intense shelling. Sometimes there would be not a single shot fired for like 2 weeks, and people get used to this, and that's when we had majority of our casualties, because when somebody gets relaxed and forgets wearing helmet or armor, and then suddenly there is a shell incoming, and and we had casualties. So that's very dangerous, I would say. And on the other hand, it's natural for human beings, because we don't like to get used to things that are not convenient to us, like all the horrors of the war. We generally, because we like life, we enjoy peace and everything like that. Sometimes we don't even want to think about such things. Why majority of people who don't give a shit about what happens in Ukraine, why they act like this is because they feel not comfortable to think about war. There are other more pleasant things to think about. So this is kind of dangerous. Again, we have different services, for example, in my brigade, and it's NCO's duty basically to keep soldiers in good shape. I believe there must be some analog of NCO for civilians as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I guess a lot of routine and a lot of keeping standards high, good leadership. That's very important.
Yeah, there must be some angry bastard just hanging around and shouting at people. I enjoyed doing this a lot.
Yeah, you become that
until I became an officer.
I bet there's a lot of shiny boots around.
Oh yeah.
Definitely would have to be. Let's see here. Hey, why, Nick? Do you have your camera off, or did everything just go away? Is it my fault or yours?
I'll blame you. No, I was having a snack. I didn't want to eat on air. Apologies. I'm gonna be
okay.
honest. Like, can I blame you anyway? It's, you know what?
Yeah,
After you set
sure.
up the
Go
mic,
ahead.
everything's just and I'm
I
still
thought you
chewing, and I
just
said,
shit the bed.
no.
Turn it off anyway. I don't see
Oh,
why
fuck
we
you,
have
Dave.
to...
Speaking of, I said, hey, Dave. You want to join our charity stream? Correct me if I'm lying. His reply back, I'm not even going to say what you said about the refugees. I'm not going to repeat that. Yeah. That's all right. You know what? And like I said, I respect all the shills, and maybe Dave, maybe
Even me.
Yeah. If it's a choice,
You know what? They're coming over here. Right? No.
Oh, whoa! Wait to lead into it. Okay.
And make
I
sure
know.
I don't do much
Hands
noise.
up, who likes me?
Oh, absolutely.
I have to because he's a partner on the channel. just
I have to because he puts up with Dick, but I mean, I get mad props for that.
Well, I think he's okay.
I come in, I talk smack about everybody, and Dick is still like, "Hey, you coming back tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. You're gonna let me keep, you know."
Yeah. It's just how it works, you know. It works. We've got some super chat shout outs and whatnot we can do, and then I've got a little something that would be a good idea. So why don't we let Claire wow us with the sound of that lovely voice and give people their shout outs.
Well, thank you for that. I don't know how lovely it is today, but from Vahud for €20, my small contribution, and it's translated as everything will be Ukraine. Thank you very much. Another gifted membership from Suzanne Nivnin went to Linda H. See which from Ink Boy, another €2. I heard Ukraine crossed the Dnieper River. Any news, Starsky?
I knew that I will receive questions about it, but quoting our spokesman for our armed forces of Ukraine, those operations require informational silence, okay, and let's wait and expect good news that you will definitely hear very, very soon.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Does sound good.
Okay. Another gifted message from Susan Nifton went to Lisa Sedinwalt. And then we have for $10, Killer Rabbit of Seris Banog. Starsky, what is the backstory on the Russian terrorists caught in Poland this week? There is nothing on the news.
So there were 9 Russian spies that were captured in Poland by Polish security service, and later they captured 3 more spies. Those were spying on the logistical chains between Poland and Ukraine, trying to gather information on the supplies coming from Europe to Ukraine, railways and things like that. And also they prepared acts of sabotage on like railway, and they were captured, and currently I know that probably there could be more, but from what I know, it's already a fact that they were hired or worked for Russian FSB, obviously, and I think our Polish colleagues did great job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have one more, another gifted membership, this time gifted from Linda H., and it went to Richard Stevens. Thank you very much. And
Thank you for all this gifted membership stuff, people. Like, it's just flying around today. You guys are amazing. Wow. Feeling the love. There was a cool conversation pre-show that I do want to turn around to right now. And we literally did Shark Week with Starsky and the Shills. And we got to bring a bit of that up. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was terrifying, bro.
Yes. So Starsky started it off. He was telling us about what he was watching there, and then it snowballed. So why don't we just give him a taste? Because that was a fucking funny conversation, man.
Terrifying, bro. I mean, like, I have no idea who even came up with this idea of creating sharks, but it's like I woke up in the evening. I hate sleeping during the day because you have all kinds of crazy dreams, and I woke up and I was scrolling through those YouTube shorts, and I found some short about a guy that was kayaking in the open sea, and he encountered a sea snake that already looked like a freaking demon. And then I was like, oh, let's find some videos about like deep sea encounters. And I found a bunch of videos like, like top 15 craziest encounters with sharks. And I was like, oh, cool. Holy shit. I believe that I have this phobia because those, like, they are freaking horrifying, those creatures, especially like bull sharks, because like great white sharks, they're scary because like they're big, like freaking submarine, and they just lazily swim around you and then they swallow you. But those bull sharks, they're like fighter jets. They have those fins. They're like ready, like 100% ready to attack you at any given moment. And we were laughing about that. The bull sharks, they are known for being opportunistic predators, meaning that they chew on everything, like, and sometimes they swim up rivers, and like Mississippi, and there were actually cases of people being like eaten by sharks in rivers, and it's like, where's Paul? Oh, Paul was bitten by like he was eaten by a shark. Oh, did he go swimming? No, he was like harvesting crops, in the field.
It's all right. Paul's here. He's there, and there's a bit of him over there.
But it's crazy. I mean, if I ever go diving, just shoot me.
Yeah, there's so much ugly and scary when you get into the ocean, man. Holy,
Hey, hey, Starsky, you know why sharks have got those big fins? It's where they attach the missiles.
Sounds possible. Yeah,
I go with it. They are scary.
Oh, that's
like
funny.
They have dead eyes though. There's like there's not they. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Those
not a fan.
empty black eyes.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah. And then those big teeth. Like no. It's like,
I said this earlier. I think okay, anglerfish are small, agreed. But oh my god, they're terrifying. They're ugly. They got the teeth. They got the that's the stuff I can deal with a shark. I see one of those. I'm done. I'm not. Whoa. Fortunately, you don't see them because they're deep water. But that's the stuff of nightmares. I mean, somebody, yeah.
Do you know about their males?
No.
So male anglerfish, actually, it's a very, very small fish. It's like 5 times smaller than the female fish.
I'm trying to get the impression I don't want to know this. Do I want to know this, Starsky? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So this big ass fish that you see with that thing on its head, which is basically a bait full of bacteria that glows in the dark.
Yeah, isn't that cuttlefish or scuttlefish or something?
This is the anglerfish, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
So that one is a female. Male fish is like, it doesn't look scary at all, and it's very, very tiny. And what it does actually, so it finds a female fish and it bites it, and it sucks to it, and eventually their organisms unite. They become one. So this male fish is now being attached to the female fish, and he doesn't care about anything else. He swims with her all the time and sucking on all of her like internal juices and stuff, and they give out their juices for female fish so they could make new fish, baby fish. And sometimes you can see anglerfish with several males attached to it.
Hey, Starsky, are you sure you're not on fishy Pornhub or something?
I know, like this sounds amazing.
So what you're saying is basically the female is out, working, and the male is, sitting on the couch being lazy, isn't really getting a job, is, it's just kind of like, just leeching, literally leeching off the,
Yes.
It's
literally just said that the male fish is sucking the life out of the female fish. Like, I was like,
half the women in the live chat are like,
yeah. Well, I'll have to remember that parable.
Actually, like, this is the life I was always dreaming about. And basically, this is the concept of our business that we will start with Brandon Mitchell in the nearest future, as soon as the war is finished. But we will talk about it later.
Oh gosh,
that's gonna be a funny one.
The secret life of male anglerfish. Okay, I can't wait for this one. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. You won't get that conversation everywhere, fellow babies. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I like to learn new things every day, but I wasn't ready for that, Starsky. I was not ready for that. I was like,
ugly German truce in the chat says, so it's now Operator Starsky? Starsky?
One thing that scares the crap out of me is like deep ocean, for real, because I remember many years ago, I think we were like on a cruise around Turkey, and like we were swimming in the open ocean, and I saw that freaking jellyfish underwater with it. Like, it was freaking huge, and it had those tentacles going deep, into the murky water. Oh my god! Like, who creates this shit? Like, I don't know.
You say you're scared of the deep ocean. I mean, I remember like swimming, snorkeling off the coast in Greece, and you're just like swimming along, and then all of a sudden you see the continental shelf just drop away, and my god, did I create a little spillage behind me when I saw that? Oh my god, that's scary.
Yeah. I don't know. I prefer just sitting on the beach and making sand castles and drinking Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of which, where I live, we finally, because of the only good thing to ever come from COVID, I shit you not, was my town has decided it's finally time to let people have open alcohol on the beaches. Because I live in this really cool little town of like a few thousand-ish, not too big, not very, and there's a beautiful lake on either side of town with amazing beaches. And now we can drink on them freely. So it's the only good thing to come from COVID. But yeah, I mean, I almost feel like I'm fucking European, Starsky, woohoo, all right.
Yeah, you're not European until you can do sex on the beach in public.
I can drink one of those on the beach, though, so it's close.
I think somebody needs to clip that part of the show. Just thank God for COVID, because now I can have alcohol on the beach.
When you put it like that.
Well, how else was I going to put it? I mean, really. I mean, it's just,
So one time, I had this friend from like my teenage years. And one time we decided that we should jog in the morning, which was highly unpopular because when we were 15, the most popular thing like among teenagers of our age was to like smoke a lot, drink vodka somewhere, and do crazy shit. So we decided that we should jog, and it looked like this. Like we met with my friend, his name was Alex, and he was like, "Dude, we gotta jog in the morning." I'm like, "What the like? Why?" He goes, I discovered that because we live next to like big park with like lakes and beaches, he said, I discovered that every morning there are like nudist girls like bathing there and chilling on the beach, but it's like early in the morning when there's no people around. And I'm like, no
You
shit.
can't
So
you can't jog with an erection, Starsky. I know, I've tried.
I was gonna say you didn't lose me at morning. You lost me at jogging. But
Yeah.
when you said nudist, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm back on board with this plan. I could be convinced.
yeah, but I think it was the biggest regret of my life because yes, there were nude females, but they were a bit older than I was promised. And a bit
Oops.
meant like probably 50 years older than I was told. So
Oh.
we didn't jog much after that.
Well, I mean, you certainly aren't going to jog for the health benefits. I mean, come on. Yeah.
What would you do, Nick? Just go out there with a deck chair and a pair of binoculars?
Not again. I mean, I learned after the last time. I mean, it's it apparently like there's laws against that, but it had to be explained to me by a superior court judge. But after that, I was like, no, I won't get caught doing that again.
But that it is so cool actually. So one time I bought this telescope, like the one that is behind Deke over there, but it was like a bit like smaller. And I was observing like moon, like distant planet. It was really, really cool. But then I realized that actually I have this big 16-floor house right in front of me. And since that time, I opened probably new movement in astrology, because it was so cool. Before they told me that they were gonna call police. So after that, I decided to give out my telescope to our recon guys. But I have a binocular.
God, that's funny, man. Wow. We should get a few I think we've got some shout outs to do, and then we'll get a few questions in, and then I've got another cool little segment to take us to.
Okay. From generic username, $5. Celebrating the successful orc strike on their own city. Good shooting, orcs. Yes. Very, very well said. From Inkboy for £5. Lithuania collected money for 16 Israeli for Ukraine. Are those already working and helpful? Do you know anything about those, Starsky?
I know that a lot of drones were delivered to us from there, but I don't know about those specific ones.
Okay.
But help coming from your country is absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. Okay. From Greg Watkins, who's 1293 Canadian, directly for the drones. Thank you, Greg.
Hashtag boom boom.
Yeah. Linda Hayes says $10 for the drone fund also. More boom boom there. And Secular Sakai, and sending in $10 with the message. I heard a controversial bill this month is being considered by Parliament to jail people for online criticism of the government. Starsky, do you have any info? This news has me concerned. Slava Ukraini.
Well, you got to understand that there were all kinds of people trying to infiltrate the ruling party. And some of those people that became members of parliament, like in 2019, some of them are already wanted by police, either because they were spreading pro-Russian ideas or some crazy shit like this one. So I think that it will end basically like it usually does in Ukraine. People will go on a protest and say, like, you're doing it wrong. So I don't believe that this law will be adopted because Ukraine is already a different country that it was like 10 years ago when it was ruled by pro-Russian oligarchs. And I honestly think that the author of this law will get his ass kicked big time.
Practically speaking, it sounds like it serves no purpose either, because who's really going to criticize the government and get away with it? I think, like Starsky said, if you sit there and make no mistake, everybody knows that no government's perfect, but right now it's who in Ukraine's really going to criticize the government, especially what they pulled off. If you want to stay alive in Ukraine, I wouldn't be criticizing the government or the military right now.
Actually, we have this in Ukraine. There are different journalists who try to show the government like all kinds of mistakes they made, or everything that can lead to a mistake, and actually it's one of our features in Ukraine that basically the laws, like everybody on the lower level, like usual people like us, we can control or manipulate basically what happens on top there. So we have this communication, this feedback with the government, with the authorities, and every single time we need to change something, we can do it either through protests or through petitions. We have the system of petitions directly to our city council, for example. So we can propose some changes, some ideas. And also we have the system of petitions that go straight to our president as soon as they reach 25,000 votes. For example, here I have this application called DIA, and this application is installed on most of our smartphones. You can donate for drones. You can see your personal information. You can show it to police officers. You have your driver's license there, and you also have all kinds of petitions that you can either create or vote, and it's very, very convenient.
Thank you. We have one more before we turn it back over to Dick and Dave. The Ink Boy has sent in an additional $2 to say that he meant Israeli radars in his question, and also to let us know he's just off a 12-hour shift, and we thank you for being here. A long day, and you're still here with us, so thank you very much, and thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, as for the radars, I know about it. I know that they were already delivered to Ukraine. Not sure if all of them were, but at least big number of them were. I communicate with a person that communicates with people responsible for this. Approximately 2 or 3 months, probably 2 months ago, this person was here in the Hostomel, and we talked about those radars, because they needed to understand what kind of radars we need specifically. So we were kind of consulting them. And yeah, I know that they collected enough funds to buy them and deliver them to Ukraine.
Okay. I thought we were done, but two more just slid in before I turn it over. From Michelle Martin, who sent in 6466 Canadian. A note from Michelle, and I hope I get this right. But she says to get the F out of here. And I think she means the Orcs or the Russians. I hope you don't mean us, Michelle, but I'm sure she means the others. Okay, from
Yes.
Royal Castriata for 20. Hey, Starsky, have you heard about the pro-Russian Serb terrorists being ambushed by pro-Ukrainian Albanian fighters somewhere in Donetsk? Old enemies fighting each other again. Master Gifford has a story on that.
I know that Wagnerites were actually. I don't know about this story, but I heard another story, and I had confirmation from like 2 sources that Wagnerites were actually fighting against the Russian army. They had some big ass shootout and plenty of casualties. Which is again a good sign. And Prigozhin, by the way, he was and he is basically among people returning to the beginning of the stream. He is among people calling for negotiations right now, because he visits front lines from time to time, and he can basically see what happens there for real. He starts losing a lot of his not convicts, but his trained men in the war a lot. Recently, several cemeteries were discovered in Russia, by the way, with those Wagnerites, and there were crazy numbers of those people buried there. I don't think that they were convicts, because nobody cares about convicts, but those were like actual Wagnerite mercenaries that were buried with flowers and everything. And judging from the number of those graves, they buried like 2 companies, and there were fresh graves prepared for like one more company. Also, recently, our authorities reported that hundreds of Russian bodies were found by our servicemen scattered on a battlefield, and they were collected. Probably in the nearest future, there will be exchange for our bodies. But usually it's like it depends, because if we're talking about convicts, nobody needs them. And for Russians, it's even preferable not to have their bodies.
Yeah. I think we've got one more that came in, and then we can do a few questions.
No. I'm looking. I can't. It's slow. It's not coming up right more. Let's see. Oh, yes, here it is. From Nadav Ben Shlomo has sent in 7162 Canadian. And it's for the Boom Boom Fund. There we go. He actually added his own Boom Booms. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Ned.
And one more from Mary Jane Monservias has sent in 2586 Canadian. From Hey MJ, Starsky's charity of choice, free the people of sovereign Ukraine. Thank you very much, Mary Jane.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Big shouts there.
Currently, our Anastasia, Nastya, that runs Vatra charity, she wants to start a new fundraiser for drones. Because, as you know, my brigade will participate in deoccupying Ukrainian territories as one of the assault brigades in the so-called offensive guard. And we will need a lot of drones. So she wants to start new fundraiser, and she calls to support our brigade.
Cool.
Mm.
Awesome. Which is what we're now doing here too. So let's gang up and get as much in as we can.
Absolutely.
Here, since I'm talking, I'll just do this one right now there. Generic username, super chat for $5. Thank you there, generic username. And Mr. Starsky, can we get a fudge update, please?
He licked me today.
And it was adorable, actually.
There we go.
Yeah, he almost ate my face. And I don't mind, usually, except for, like, whiskers. Because it tickles.
I think this is so cute. This is just gonna be my new image here. I
I know. It's like,
I don't
right?
think I need my camera.
Yes.
I love it.
We've been telling you this for a while, Nick. I mean, seriously.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Admittedly, no. I'm aware. Between me and the dog looks better. I'll admit, but
yeah. Back in autumn, when we had those blackouts and when our power infrastructure was bombed, we were living in another place, and because it was cold like hell, Fudge slept in the bed with me, like next to me, because it's warmer this way. And in the morning, like, he was waiting until I wake up, and he was like, trying to ambush me. And as soon as I'm awake, he would jump at me and start licking me. I'm like, Fudge, no! And he's like jumping at me, It was not the best way to wake up, actually, because you could, you could start stuttering, yeah, but he's fun.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. We should check in with Dave, I think, here for a couple of questions, and then we'll have a few shout outs to do. And then I'll finally get to do something cool here. But we do want to keep up, don't we? We do want to keep up.
Yes, we do. Hoobs Groove is asking, here's a question for Starsky. Have you ever thought about tattooing your hand? You would look badass.
Cool.
Tattooing my hand?
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
It could be a good idea. It could be.
What design would you get? I can't even think of what I would get on my hand. Like...
Well, if you had 3 fingers, you could have mum.
You could tattoo a hand with a tattoo of a hand on your hand.
Oh.
I mean,
this is the most evil thing I ever heard.
Like an Inception.
Getting a skeleton, I could understand getting the bones outlined on a hand. That would be pretty badass, I guess.
That started an odd one.
Yeah. How much would that cost? Oh, I don't know. I've never thought about it. Let's have a look. There's a question for us, actually, Dick. I think it's from Julie. The Shills, how about an interview with Roman?
Oh, well, speaking of which, Starsky and I were just talking, and we're going to be putting the feelers out to a whole bunch of other people and bringing them on to join us and stuff coming forward. There might even be a second show that comes up that's more around an hour, that's a direct interview with the person instead of, getting a little more jovial the way we do around here and whatnot. So, yeah, there could be a bunch of really good content coming up. I will say, watch this space. I'm so concerned that I've at least missed one of the super chats or donations that have come in that we put in our back room here to try to stay organized. I am failing miserably, so I'm just trying my best to make sure we're good. I'll let Dave do another question or two just so I can make sure I've got them all, and then we'll get to the shout outs.
Sure. Chairman Meow has asked, do you think the war will end this year?
I really do. I really do. If we have enough supplies, then it's completely possible. I believe that as soon as Crimea is isolated and liberated by the armed forces of Ukraine, liberation of the rest of Ukraine will be just a matter of time. Maybe like matter of weeks.
That would be amazing.
Interesting. That would be an ideal scenario.
Indeed.
Well, listen, I got to get going. I was typing out a message, but instead I'll just say it, which is Dick is shy. We all know this. He's shy, so he won't say it. So I will say it. Hit the like button. It really helps. All of us creators hate fucking saying it. I hate saying it. I don't say it on my own show if I can avoid it because you feel like such an ass. But it helps, and nobody would be saying it if it didn't help. So hit that like button. Thank you guys very much for having me on. Good to see all of you. Good to see Starsky. Good to see Dick. Good to see everybody. Almost everybody. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, what's Claire done? Come on.
I wasn't. No, I don't believe it was me today. No, it wasn't. It was not I. Come for me, Nick. I mean, come on.
Believe me, Claire, it was not you.
Thank you.
The bar has already been set pretty low.
Seriously.
I didn't hear you, Starsky. What was that?
Be safe. Don't dive around sharks. Fuck sharks.
Yeah, I'll write that one down. I'll tell the kids. Your Uncle Starsky says "fuck sharks," and they'll be like, or don't. Yeah, the smarmy one will be sitting there going, "But Daddy, why would I?" That's the smarmy one. We won't get into that. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for having me on. Good to see all of you. Only time I'll ever admit it. Good even to see Dave, if for no other reason than his presence makes me look all the better. Have a good one, all, and I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Nick.
Again, man.
That's funny. Here, I'll put Claire up in the other window there. All right, there we go. Okay, that was hilarious. So, oh, you know what? Okay, we've got a bunch of shout outs to do, so we're going to let Claire do her lovely thing, and then I'm finally going to hit a button. We're going to have a little fun here for a minute.
Okay, we have a couple here with no messages, so if you do have something, just add us in the chat. But from Kim C, thank you very much for £5, and from RCT also for 5. Thank you very much. From Denise Sirit, we have $9.99. Please put Foch's name on a drone for us. Okay, I don't do that. From Yahweh for 11 Canadian. SCTV CCCP1, 15 minutes you must watch. That's interesting. Thank you very much. Secular
I know what he's talking about. Sorry, I know what he's talking about. Oh, yeah, the flag. He knows that I know. SCTV, okay. Yeah, that's Canada's Saturday Night Live.
Okay. So explain then. So tell everyone. I don't think everyone understands. You want to tell us what that is?
Oh, no, I SCTV CCCP1. It's one of the skits that they did, and I actually wouldn't want to explain it because you have to go and look it up.
Okay.
I would ruin it, right? It would be that, you know, that guy trying to retell the joke and ruining it. Yeah, no.
Okay.
SCTV CCCP1. Check it out.
All right, cool. From Secular Sakai, who donated $10 Canadian for the drone fund. If you guys shift away from DJI, I've heard murmurs, consider looking into the Geosat drones. They are a Taiwanese company. I believe that was for you, for Starsky. And then from Cheryl Watley, a member for 1999 again for the drone fund. More boom boom. There you go.
Awesome. Hashtag boom boom.
Mm-hmm.
It rings true and it's awesome. Everybody loves the sound of that. So, yeah, I get to do something super cool here. Let me just make sure we're all situated and.
It's adorable. Oh my god. I wasn't ready for cuteness like that. Oh my.
Okay. I remember two funny moments from my childhood. My father served at the military base in Chernihiv Oblast, and my mother, as it usually happens with like wives of our officers, she worked at the base as well in a library. And you probably know that there are like different national minorities in Russia right now, like Buryats, Yakuts, and whatever. And they were there in Soviet Union as well, because it was like 1989, 1990. I was around 5 years old, but I could already read, by the way. And those guys, they served those conscripts from like Buryatia, Uzbekistan. They couldn't read well, so they would go to library whenever I was there. And there was this Soviet magazine with like anecdotes and jokes called Pepper. There was another one called Crocodile, and I would read them those jokes, even though there were some like more or less dirty jokes, because it was like um, so I didn't understand them completely, but I would read to them and they would laugh their asses off a lot. But just so you could understand living in a freaking Soviet Union. So one morning, and it was a winter morning, my dad brought me to the base because there were nobody to leave me home with, and he brought me to the base, and it was like very very early, and it was cold, and there was like snow everywhere, like Soviet Union, basically modern Russia. And uh, while walking across the base, we heard shots, and the bullets were like cracking above us, which means that basically they were directed at us, over our
Yeah.
heads. So my dad pushed me face down into the snow, and what happened? So one of the conscripts went nuts, and while being on duty, he started shooting his AK like at everything, everybody, Um, and like it's an actual story. He was eliminated by one of the officers who shot him using his Makarov pistol right there at the
Holy
base.
man.
Yeah. They had some kind of like negotiations with that soldier, and while negotiating, that officer, he was sneaking behind this soldier with a handgun, and he shot him in the back of his head. So we had things like that happening a lot in the freaking Soviet Union, because serving in the army in the Soviet Union, it was insane. But I remember that on a new year, it was so freaking cool, because this small town of Honcharivska, it was populated by military, basically. And people were preparing for celebrating New Year probably around October, November. So they were collecting, that's the word, all kinds of signal rockets, all kinds of like things that go boom and shine different colors. And on a New Year's Eve, when officers would gather home with their families and watch TV with that Soviet crap, around midnight, like this small town of Honcharivske, it would shine because, like, you could see all kinds of tracing bullets flying around, like in friggin' Vietnam. You could see, like, into the sky. You could see like those signal rockets being launched from balconies and shit like that. It was so freaking cool.
Crazy.
So if you think that fireworks are cool, trust me, there are things much cooler than that.
Oh, no doubt. Wow. I can't even imagine. That's awesome. Like, that to have that as something that, I remember seeing, that's pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Those like signal rockets, and there are those illumination rockets, those military illumination rockets that have like small parachute and stuff. And they were like everywhere in the sky, over this
right.
small town. It was so cool.
Crazy. Crazy indeed. And I've got a little something to share with everybody. So as I hit the stinger to come out of young Starsky's story, whatever, the baby Starsky is going to be a t-shirt very soon here with all proceeds going to, his unit, right? So you'll be able to get yourself a seriously cool piece of merch coming up really soon. We damn near had it ready for today, but the website where you do the designing on and everything was giving me all kinds of errors and just choking on its own vomit. So we will get it ready right away. So here's a little teaser again of what we got coming.
You're just such a happy baby. I just can't stand it. Oh my god.
Dunk here, DKG in the chat is the one who are in the show with us here, is the one who made that up. So all credit goes to the maker himself.
Got a few other stickers coming up soon.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. He is an Emmy award-winning visual effects artist. Like, no shit, he has a fucking Emmy award. So, that's why his shit looks good.
I didn't get my award for doing shit on YouTube,
So yeah, let's turn to Dave to bring a few questions in from the viewers and whatnot, and then we got a couple of shouts building up we can do as well.
When the buttons aren't working on Discord, of course they're not.
That happens all the time. Discord is so slow. Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. I kind of remembered what I was going to say anyway. Who Dat Dragon is asking, is requesting very nicely. Ooh, Starsky, please show us your Texas accent.
I need a beer, because I don't want to tell you all. That's basically, I need more practice.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, that worked. The chat's lighting up.
On my farm, I had a cow, and then the beast stole my booze, and I had to shoot it with my grandfather's rifle.
I just can't. Oh my.
That's fucking awesome. Oh shit. You got a real career coming up as an actor, buddy. All we got to do is get the fucking orcs out of Dodge and let you get on with life. Holy shit.
I tried to learn freaking Cockney. Guys, I don't know, like, it's something you have to be born with. It's a real talent.
Totally.
Because,
Too right,
like,
Governor.
Cockney, oh my God. I think it's amazing.
I've tried and tried, and I can't get my whole thing around it either. DK, you should be able to do good.
No.
No.
No is the answer to that. No, I can't even like, form it inside my brain how to just slip into that.
I know.
I'll work on it.
You
I'll
just
work
completely
on it.
skip the person who's actually been born in London. But no, it's okay. It's fine.
Who's that?
Okay.
Aren't hurt.
Who's that? Starsky. You were born-
Okay, give us some Cockney, Dave. Come on.
I don't know what to say.
Apples and pears, Mary Poppins.
Oh, yes, some Mary Poppins, some sort of some Bert stuff. Sort of, blimey, Governor. You all right, son? Yeah, we're going down to go see the game, mate. All right, have some cockles and pears on the stairs.
Oh,
All that.
jeez. I love that.
Holy shit.
Ow.
Like, guys,
That's
I
just
swear,
my voice.
this will be
You're just
this will be my challenge. I swear. I gotta learn this.
Oh, gosh, Starsky doing Cockney. Oh my. Oh my.
We have to do this. In private, we'll get Dave to give you a few lessons and get you worked in and whatnot, and then Starsky can give us a Cockney skit. That'll be the funniest fucking thing YouTube's ever seen. Oh my God.
It sounds really fucking weird because I've got like earpiece in, so I can't really hear myself properly. It's just like, ooh,
Yeah.
that was weird.
No worries, Dave. It sounded the same as usual.
Oh, that's funny.
To me,
Okay.
to me personally, it sounded like, in Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Exactly like that.
Yeah. That's what I hear too. That's funny.
Hey, that's
Oh, I think Dave cut out
all of
there.
that.
Oh.
I think I might have, yeah.
Yeah. Teams is fucking with you,
You
dude.
didn't at all. Yeah. I was still talking, you were still talking, but I don't know. But it's I definitely understand that. I said the craze and all of like that sort of part of the world.
Is it true
No,
that
I know that very well.
is it true that when people speak Cockney, they speak in like they're rhyming sentences or like words?
So yeah, I mean, Cockney rhyming slang's been a thing for a very long time. People typically, I mean, don't. It's not been, not that I hang around them or anything, but it's like, it's just the way they talk. It's just like any regional sort of idiom is the word that you sort of just come up with your own sort of way of saying things, and it was certain little phrases that pop out. But yeah, they will. It's I don't know whether it's. I don't think it's actually that the way they talk, but it's more like a novelty that people keep poking the bear and going, "Get do it, go on, rhyme words, say noises, go on." Like,
let me just copy this one over. We got a few shout outs we can do here. We should do that, I do believe. Get ourselves caught up here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let me check the other boards and make sure with the different donation links and super chats and stuff. There's like 5 million screens to check to make sure you catch everything. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
We need like an Apple iMessages for the donation messages to all come to one place.
That would be good. Well, while you're looking, I'll do the ones that are in here from
Cool.
Mr. E. We have £5. Starsky, have you spoken to any of the guys who are operating the Challenger 2? If so, what do they think of it? Best wishes from the UK and Slava Ukraini.
So far, I talked to guys who operate M113. As for Challenger, I believe that I will have a chance. I'm anticipating this actually because I really want to make a review for Challenger 2 and Bradley. I believe that I will be lucky. So far, it was M113. Very nice stuff. I had a ride in one several times, and it's awesome. The transmission united with brake system, and like it's completely. It's much better than what we have in BTR3, I would say. Anyways, BTR is like is a wheeled machine actually. That one has tracks. This one has wheels, but it's much better than BMP.
See, I can bring you some military insight of my expertise on military hardware because having great close contact and usage of the Challenger 2 tank, I can give you this very, very, very precise information about the Challenger 2, and that it is mostly green.
That's flexing the gray matter, dude.
Okay.
Well done.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay,
I expected them to be like blue, but if you say so.
You find the pink one, you're getting in the wrong thing. It's probably a Sayat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, pink.
Yeah.
That might be cool. Having them pink.
Well, you definitely would see them coming for sure.
That's like the Hello Kitty option when you're doing the, the whole like, do I want a leather interior? Do I want the Hello Kitty exterior?
I don't know. I'm gonna go on with the if I can. Generic username for $5. Starsky's Texan accent sounds like an incantation to summon Yosemite Sam from hell. What? And I don't know if Starsky will get that reference, but it's a cartoon of a rather short little guy with a big red handlebar mustache and beard, and he's quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a limited. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but actually, again, there's like a lot of accents on the south, actually, and they are a bit different. So, like, I don't pretend to know some specific accent. It's like generally speaking, Southern accent. And again, it requires a lot of practice, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Honestly. From Danny Carver for $9.99. I can't wait for the baby Starsky shirt with lots of like happy crying emojis and hearts and things. Like, I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way. That is gonna be some look. And there was a request in the chat. I'll mute right after this, so maybe I should get my headphones off so I don't hear your response. But they actually want you to smile like the baby Starsky. They want the comparison shot. They want to give it a whirl.
I'm a bit shy because the baby Starsky has more teeth than I have.
Oh,
but it's actually the moment when I realized that this baby Starsky looks much cuter than the actual baby Starsky.
Well, what print it up? Give it to your mum.
Okay, well, back to you, Dick and Dave, and for questions. There you go.
Oh God, yeah. Let's do a few questions there, Dave. If you're ready and loaded, I'm not ready and loaded. I just got too overly hilarity there, and my giggles have still taken over. So
always ready and loaded. There's been so many requests for accents, including the West Country decal. I'll leave that one to you, even though I can. But I just thought share the burden. Yahweh asks, the actual Yahweh, please ask Starsky about his merch store and how many of the bikinis he's sold.
I cannot answer this question because I'm not managing my merch. Rudy, my buddy, does that, and the other merch is managed by Janine. Like, I know that it does exist, and that's all I know.
Yeah.
Are you wearing it?
You're a little busy. Yeah, a couple more. I'm sure we got time here. Yeah, we're
definitely.
good on time. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort of figure out this one out from Misty. Tried to get Starsky to imitate the Orc pilot and Orc taking the second bomb that didn't blow. That's a very specific reference that I'm not getting.
I'm not sure there either.
So the pilot be flying over Belgrade, and he will be like, "Oh, so Putin said we are one people. Anyways, drop the bomb," you know.
And now we're one less people.
Or like there was this joke. So Putin, Prigozhin, and Shoigu walk into the bar, and Putin says to the barman, "As usual, please." The barman says, "Okay," and they get their asses fucking kicked.
Oh, I got one for that. Oh, another shout out come. Okay, cool. There was a thing I wanted to bring up here real quick. If I can try to do two things at once, I'm just babbling to stall. There we go. There was a thing that came out a couple days ago there, Starsky. I think we've already mentioned it, but NATO chief there, what's his name? Ukraine's rightful place is in the alliance. Like, do you think there's any possibility with all the support towards getting Ukraine in the EU and NATO and whatnot that we're going to see the barriers lowered so that we don't have a few people getting in the way of it happening now instead of after?
I believe that it's against the rules right now. It's not about the people that are getting in the way, it's rather about the rules of accepting new members, because according to the rules of the alliance, we cannot be in the state of war, we cannot have conflicts on our territory while being accepted to the NATO. But of course, I think that as soon as this conflict is finished, the best security guarantee we can ever have is basically to join the NATO. Yes. That's another reason why we should end this war with our victory as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Let's check with another viewer question or two from Dave there, and then we've got at least a shout out. I think we've got two.
Yeah, some really interesting ones, actually. There is... Okay, we're on to our topic. Nelly Cat, thank you for this. Operator Starsky, could you tell us about the wedding food?
The wedding food?
The wedding food, apparently.
The wedding food.
We're on to our favorite topic, anyway.
Okay, so any food counts as a wedding food when it's on the table during the wedding.
It just costs 10 times more.
Yeah, nothing special. Like, we just have same stuff that you guys have with the cake, of course. We have this stupid tradition of stealing the bride. Do you have it?
Stealing a
Stealing
bride.
bride. Well, before or just to get
Like during the celebration. So the dude
Like
must
putting her over your shoulder and kidnapping her and running the hell out of there. Like
stealing her, like taking her away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's the end line to that? Do they actually get her in the car and like just drive off for a little bit of...
basically it's like
throw in the back of a van.
yeah, tape her mouth shut. Like what the hell?
What is going? Oh God, this is getting worse. Oy.
basically it's like this. Usually if there are some kids on this wedding, you know, like somebody's nephews or whatever, usually they do this shit. So the dude must watch his bride all the time because she will get kidnapped. And like if he's drinking or whatever or busy like talking with his friends, that cunning bastard, that 9-year-old, will steal his bride, and then he will be notified that you don't have your wife anymore, and you will have to pay ransom. And this ransom can have different shapes. Usually, it's like money plus some transformers, PlayStation, bicycle, and a living freaking bunny or something like that, or a hamster.
A hamster. Oh,
Hamster. So they do that. They do that all the time. Usually, kids do that on a wedding. Usually, kids do that, but sometimes, like older men do that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's quite clever to do it before the honeymoon, like at the celebration, like when the most opportune that he's going to actually pay to get her back. You know, don't wait months into the marriage. You know.
Actually, it's smart.
Yeah, it's kind of smart.
That's funny, man. I love it.
I can't
I don't
believe
know.
they
I,
asked
I
for
don't. I don't.
PlayStation.
I don't really remember like wedding food, but I remember like divorce food. That one
Wait,
is the
wait, what's divorce food? Wait, I gotta hear this. They have divorce. What's your divorce food?
It's served
Usually
from a
it's like
microwave.
usually
No, that's American divorce food, Canadian divorce food for sure. But in Ukraine, really, what's your divorce food there?
like sushi, like jelly meat, like plenty of alcohol and all kinds of crazy shit.
Ah, like party food. Okay, I
Oh
get it.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
like sushi eaten from a body of a stripper.
Oh, okay.
Amen, brother. Amen. I
Mm.
I have my divorce papers in a picture frame on my bedroom dresser up in my room, actually. They're celebrated.
Now, while we're talking about women, Starsky, now since I've been hanging around you guys and you Ukrainians, I keep getting these sort of things, ads up in the corner of my my YouTube recommendations, asking if I'd like to speak to Ukrainian women like this. And I'm just wondering, what do you get in your ads? What do you get in your ads when you go onto YouTube? Do you get images of talk to fat English birds from the UK? What? I'm sure you don't get images saying talk to Ukrainian women. You can do it any day you like.
So I'm not sure about YouTube. On other specific sites, if you know what I'm talking about, you receive those ads as well. But on a YouTube, like the most ads that I received for reasons I don't know is like shaving machines, you know, like stuff for your head. And I wasn't searching for this, I swear, but I receive a lot of related videos to this channel. I even eventually I subscribed to it. It's like where men, men that are losing hair, they shave, they go bald for the first time. Some of them cry, and I cry with them when I watch those videos. It's so cool. So I subscribe to it, and I go like, "Hey guys, welcome to the club." It's awesome. And of course, I fell a victim to the ad, and I bought one of those machines.
And tonight's show is sponsored by Ukrainian Manscaped.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
Oh,
see it
God.
all.
I'm gonna die today, man. I'm laughing too much. Oh my God. We got time for a couple more viewer interactions here. What do you got for us there, Dave? Jesus.
Loads. One from CF actually. Has Ukraine took out the Russian language from schools?
I believe that back in 2022, in the beginning of the year, we still had around 600 schools where kids were taught in Russian language, which shows that we hate Russians so much, and we are Nazis, of course. And I don't know about now, but I believe that people realize more and more than learning Russian is not the best thing you want actually in your life. Having terrorist state just across the border. And recently, I know that one of the laws was adopted by our government, and it was signed by our president to de-Russify our geographical locations like streets, towns, and whatever. Those that were named after like Russian places. Like Moscow streets and things like that, we will not have that shit anymore in Ukraine. After they tried to kill us.
Yeah. Fuck all that, right? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you don't need that. There's one. Typically, I just want to be able to pronounce their name properly, and hopefully they can confirm that I'm pronouncing this properly. Zelorio, I hope that's correct. Can we have a shout out for those groups needing night vision and infrared equipment to spot those orcs at night? Saves a lot of lives.
Yeah, and as far as I remember, my buddy Brandon Mitchell did that, did fundraising for those guys. He was searching night vision devices and I believe thermal vision devices as well, and he was teaching guys how to operate them. So I think you gotta check his page as well. Speaking of accents and languages in general, so the coolest language in terms of like swearing, and they raise this to a level of an art, is Polish language. Actually, those guys are amazing. I lived in Poland for a year, and they do it like when they swear, it's a freaking performance.
Yeah, it's like
Honestly.
Picasso with a brush, right? They're
Yeah.
so the way it comes together and the way they deliver it and how it's crafted. They are awesome. I've
Yeah.
heard this as well.
And even Ukrainian and Polish languages are not that different actually, but they do it so like it's an art actually. I remember I was with my friend there, and he was telling me this story. So it's a short one. I'm not sure if there's polls in this chat right now. It was like this. Siedzimy z kumpelem najebane w dupę w tym parku i wtedy ten policeman, ten pies przychodzi do nas i mówi, że nie można pić w parku i ten mój kumpel tak patrzy na niego i mówi, Perdale. And basically it translates like we were sitting with my mate in the park drinking like pigs, and then that dog, that policeman, comes up to us and says, "You cannot drink in the park." And my friend looks at him and he says, "Fuck off." You know, holy shit! The way they tell those stories, it's so freaking amazing. Guys, I mean, I love Poland with all my heart.
Yeah, they're damn good people, aren't they? Holy shit.
Oh, God.
That's for sure. They've really proved it during everything. That's true, too.
Hmm.
Ah, well, here, we better get caught up on shout-outs because we are getting close on time here. Are y'all set and ready there, Claire Bear?
Yes, I have a few here. We've got from Cats for £5. Starsky, you are freaking awesome. Slava Ukraine, I most agree. Freaking awesome. Okay.
Love it.
And from Rudy Rudsil, welcome to Shill Apprentice. Thank you for becoming a member. And from
Welcome to the
Yvonne,
family.
hey,
Sorry.
shout out. No problem. Yvonne Way, also a new member for 10. She sent us a sticker with the video game controller that muscles all up in just under the power of love and support. There you go. So kind of
Love it.
apropos for all of us. Thank you very much, Yvonne. And we are caught up.
Cool. All right. So, anything we want to, get out before we're done? Remember, here, I'll give you one extra teaser of this, but coming up in like literally days, watch our community post coming up. You're going to have the young baby Starsky t-shirt. They won't be the cheapest merch you've ever seen, but they won't be outrageous. But the proceeds go directly to Starsky's unit and the boys and, what they're doing and whatnot. So every penny's going to be well worth it.
Hey, I thought we were going to split it 50-50.
I will see that face in my nightmares, I swear.
We love that face. Come on, it's a great face. It could be worse. It could be hugging a shark,
Oh, that's going to be next, Baby Starsky.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
Baby Starsky.
no. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm so sorry, Starsky. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's scary, DK. That's scary.
That's too funny. Well, let's
fire up the AI and see what happens.
Let's do our little roundtable goodbyes to everybody here, and we'll get ourselves signed off. So, Dave, bringing it from the viewers for us today. What do you think, buddy? Thoughts and wraps on what has to be one of the funniest shows I've ever been a part of. Holy shit.
This has been fun. I always start by thinking, oh, God, is this going to be...
Oh, don't freeze now. No.
Oh,
Dave, come back to us.
It's kind of perfect how he froze just looking at DK's picture. Like, really, Dave? Get a grip.
Yeah, try again, buddy. Yeah.
There. I was going to say very nice things. There are some questions that we get from the chat that are like, "Hey, go to a dark place," and it's like, no, you can't do it every week. It's just not possible to keep up, So yeah.
Cool. What do you think, Claire? Your turn.
Well, thank you. Well, as always, I'm very happy to be here. I actually learned something today. I didn't know it was going to be about the anglerfish life and how much Starsky aspires to that lifestyle here is the thing. But I agree with him about sharks, totally. I know we had a little thing about the chocolate and the coffee, 2 weeks ago, Starsky, and I tried to put milk and sugar in my coffee. I tried. Well, at least we'll still have sharks in common. Of that, thank you again for a fun show. This was a nice, a little different, but also welcome. There's so much seriousness going on, and I'm glad you're getting what you call a break in a reprieve and not too much going on this week, and actually have them bomb themselves for a little while and keep themselves busy and leave you the hell alone for a week, give you a little break. So we'll see you next week, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, myself, I want to remind everybody, keep writing the letters, emails, phone calls, and whatnot. Who writes letters anymore? What the fuck am I even talking about? But get your local and state and federal governments, depending on where you live. There could be different words for it. There is here in Canada, but you know what I mean. You got to keep the pressure up so that Ukraine is being funded and supported properly. They literally are the front lines for like everybody right now, and they deserve and need our support. So do your part. We're doing ours. Let's come together and do everything we can. And speaking of which, let's turn to the man himself for some closing words. Operator Starsky.
What about DKG?
Yeah, go on. What about it?
Wait, is this the part where we all go, yeah, what about DKG? Well, he's looking a little different these days.
Proves that I'm not the bully. I'm being bullied, guys. It's not just me. We have victims.
Sorry, I fucked it up.
There will be a number at the end of the stream. If you feel lonely and attacked by women who pretend to be American, and we know they're not American, they're from South Africa. And they steal people's identities.
Oh God!
And they go online and they hide behind avatars. Right.
They do. Yes. From South Africa. Oh. That's it. I'm gonna have to come with a Texan accent. Next week. Well, speaking of Dick, before we go, Royal Castriata sends in $10, last super chat. Starsky, how is Texas Grandpa? Nick, how's it? That's the message. How is Texas Grandpa?
I believe he's doing great. I will visit him anytime soon. I know I'm promising it all the time, but this time I will. I promise.
Cool. I think we have one more that slipped in too, Claire.
We do.
It's got the Israeli shekels, the cool little money emblem.
Oh, it does. It does. For 35 Israeli shekels from Urim Bench. Glory to Ukraine and Starsky. It's a wonderful way to end. Thank you very much, Urim Bench. Thanks. I think that should be it. Yeah.
Cool. And now we can turn to Dunk and get a proper goodbye from him. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay, Dick. I'm fine. It's okay. Starsky, you know where I am. You can come and find me in the Ukraine. Hey, come talk to me. Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Actually, it looks like I've got you and your brother already stuck inside my dress, but we'll talk about that later. Till next time, Slava Ukraini and Slava all over me.
Oh my God. Starsky, you're up.
I can give you a small master class on how to seduce Ukrainian man as a Ukrainian woman. So first thing, before even like talking at all, you have to bring a huge plate of like borscht and go like, would you like to have some borscht? And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. So this is how it works. Divorced twice. Thank you so much for this awesome show. Thank you, Dick and DKG and Claire and Dave and Nick, even though he's not here for some reason. And thank you for your awesome questions. As always, I was very, very happy to see you tonight. And we'll see you next time. I hope that you will have great day or great evening, wherever you are. And I will be just watching those scary videos with sharks and stuff.
And eating chocolate too, because or have you finished your private stash that you found? of the best
I
chocolate.
still have like one more plate of chocolate.
Oh, so that's good
Cool.
shark watching TV and chocolate time coming up.
All right. Oh, and we had one last donation come in. Drone fundraiser from some Dave guy. $100 thrown into the pot. Boom. Hashtag boom, boom, indeed. Some
Wow.
Dave guy. Thank you very much. So remember, Slava Ukraini, keep it in your hearts, keep it in your thoughts, because it will help. We can make a difference. We're the Shills. Up Ukraine update with Operator Starsky, and we're out of here. Good night, everybody. Take it easy.
Good
Fuck,
night.
I can't speak.
It's over. Go home. Go.